This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
We love our pets. They're our best friends as we navigate life's ups and downs with a wag or a purr just when we need it. The Royal Veterinary College is there for our pets, home to Europe's largest small animal referrals hospital, with over 200 specialists providing expert care 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The bond between a pet and their person is worth fighting for, and that's the belief that inspired the RVC Memory Tree, a beautiful handmade sculpture standing in the heart of the RVC Small Animal Referrals Hospital, adorned with gold, silver and copper leaves, each one engraved with the name of a beloved pet, and each one funding the extraordinary work happening there every day. For just £10 a month, you can dedicate a leaf in the name of your pet, celebrating your pet's life, whilst also helping to fund life-saving treatment and care for animals in need. Visit rvcact.com/memory tree to dedicate a leaf today and let your pet's memory live on.
Hey, my dog lovers, stop picking hairs off your jumper and listen up. The National Dog Survey from Dogs Trust is back, and whether you have your own dog or just admire them from afar, we want the full scoop. From the joyful moments that make you laugh to the soggy splashed-filled ones you'd rather not relive. Just 15 minutes today could make a huge difference for the nation's dogs of tomorrow. Join our muddy-trousered community by searching Dogs Trust National Dog Survey. I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hey guys, welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. We, in the history of Call to Stage, have had a no-show guest today. We think there's been a miscommunication, but do you know what? That is life. So I've decided, well, let's give him a solo ep. I've just put up on my Insta, filming a solo ep, ask me anything. I feel like it's actually been years and years, since I've done a question and answer, via my Insta. I used to do it all the time back in the day. So I am going to answer some of your questions. And already I've got some fantastic questions. Let's go all the way to the bottom. If you were a potato, what kind would you be? I'm not joking. That is the first question I've got. If I was a potato, I'd probably be a jacket. Anyway, let's move on to the good questions. Dream role after Elle. Ooh, that's a really good question. Look, I have always thought I'm an alphabet girly, but I actually think since discovering my inner Elle, I'm suited more for Glinda. So I'm going to put Garlinda. Also, just to let you guys know, I feel like me in 2025 were like best friends, and me in 2026 aren't getting on so much. It's humbling me. I think because I had such a good year in 2025, 2026 is humbling me. So I've discovered that I now have severe allergies. Of course I do. What did I have at the start? Influenza A at the start of the year, which took me out for about a month, and then now I have severe allergies. So that's how my year's going, guys. What and where is your favourite theatre you've ever performed at, and why? Oh, I would probably say there is a beautiful feeling about performing in the Wales Millennium Centre, and I think it's because it's my homeland, and I feel like everybody in that audience, there's something about the Welsh, we support each other to the highest degree, and I feel like that room, that auditorium is just filled with like unconditional support. And then the other one is the Colosseum. I mean, when we did the Colosseum, I'll never forget that. Just being in there. I actually went to see Kinky Boots there the other day, and just sitting in the auditorium, I actually couldn't believe that I'd done a summer stint there the year before. Hardest part about playing Elle. Vocally, she sits really comfortable in my voice. So vocally, it's a tick-tick. I would probably say her energy, like, I feel like I'm a lot more chilled out than Elle. It's like she comes in, she's like a hurricane, like do 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 do, and then leaves. And I feel like when you have to maintain that exciting, energized character, you have to have a lot of energy. In Act 2, she's a little bit more calmer, like a fraction calmer, but I would say that it's the energy levels I got to keep up. And also like the care that I have to take care of myself post-show. Like, I've never had to do that before. I'm like really strict with myself. What's your favourite role you've played in your career? Favourite role? Look, I love Elle. She's my dream role. She's definitely the hardest role I've played. But my favourite so far would have to be Jordan Baker. And there's two sides to this, okay? One, because it was a princess track, okay? I got to play at the London Coliseum all summer with the most incredible company, and I just had one 7-minute number, 20 minutes at the start of the show. Easy. Where with Elle, it's like a full-time job, you know? It's like, yes, it's my dream role, and I'm so grateful to be playing her, but it's hard. I have to put the work in. I have to take care of myself. Where with Jordan Baker, I could go for a couple of drinks after a show and do a show the next day, you know? So when I mean I could have my cake and eat it, I really could with Jordan Baker. So for me, so far, she's my fave. Funniest backstage or onstage mishap for Legally Blonde. Guys, I've got a fantastic one. So it was the final show in Sheffield. It was the Saturday night. Oh my God. It's probably one of the best moments that has ever happened to me on stage. So I have a quick change in the opening number, okay? I'm not going to do any spoilers, but there's a quick change, okay? And it happens on stage, ONSTAGE. What had happened is the quick change was unsuccessful. And we'd actually, in the moment that it was unsuccessful, I actually thought, no one's actually told me what to do if this doesn't work. So rather than me actually think, right, okay, it hasn't worked, just stay on stage, I tried to exit off stage. There was 2 rails behind me. The girl that does my quick change exits through a rail, and I tried to follow her. So I'm definitely a flight when it comes to fight or flight girly. And then when I kind of realised that the show wasn't stopping, because I in my head thought this is an immediate show stop. It wasn't. I turned around, carried on the show, but I carried on the number and like optioned up as like forgive me. But in my mind, like for the rest of the show, I was just imagining the audience watching me trying to exit, trying to like get away from the situation. I was just like, get me out of this. Yeah, that will stay with me forever. I love that. I love when things like that happen but this all happened within like the space of 5 seconds. So maybe it wasn't obvious to the audience that I tried to exit. I love those moments. I've actually had quite a few moments in Legally. Like when we were doing previews, we were doing rehearsals in the day, show in the evening. I was like going to Lulu, and Elle script is a lot, and at this point, like, it wasn't muscle memory for me. Like, I was having to think all the time, and I'd called Warner Emmett and Warner in multiple different shows. Yeah. And then I also have some law things to say, and like at the start of the contract, I'd say those law lines before every show, because obviously it's not like in my daily vocabulary. And if I sometimes, before I'd get to the line, this was more in previews, I would think, oh, I can't remember the line. I did know the line, but I'd like convince myself I didn't, and then it would just come out like gibberish. But again, those moments for me, I just live, laugh, love. I try not to get like any anxiety over it, because like it's human, you know, and the audience love it. Favorite memory from Gatsby. I've got a few, actually. I'd probably say when Janet Jackson came to watch was a huge one. That was epic. Like, just knowing that Janet Jackson was watching. No. I think being next door to Rachel Tucker, like being dressing room neighbours to Rachel Tucker, love, like, what a woman. What a woman. I learned so much from her. Kissing Corbin Blue every night. Wait, sorry guys, that should have been top of my list. I got to kiss Chad Danforth every night. Obviously, that's my favourite moment. Whoa, take that all back. How does this tour compare to your last? Oh, my gosh, that is such a good question. So, Vivian Ward and Elle Woods are similar in the fact that you're on stage for the entire 2.5 hours. So like, as a whole, both roles extremely demanding. Being on this tour, I remember, this is why I didn't want to do a tour again. Obviously, I love it. I love playing Elle, but touring is so hard when you're playing a demanding role, because you have to keep yourself so healthy. And there's things that are in the way that are stopping you from doing that, like the travel. You are living out of a case. You are changing accommodation every single week. Like, there's no kind of routine. Your food, you rely a lot of eating out rather than cooking healthy, nutritious meals. What I have found is the one thing that I struggle with is maintaining health. Even though I don't drink, I don't socialise, just the overall extra added, like, commitment on top of doing 7 shows as Elle it's difficult. So I would say that I've definitely grown more as Elle. Like, I'm 2 years older, 2.5 years older, and I feel like this time around I know how to catch things before it gets worse, like, for example, like a cold or something like that. And like when I was doing Pretty Woman and I was playing Viv, I had laryngitis for 3 weeks. I did like solo up on it years ago, and oh my gosh, I beat myself up about it, because when your face is on the poster and you feel like this, you feel this guilt inside of, oh my gosh, I'm not on, but that's just life. And you have to look at the circumstances of, you're doing a good job, you're doing okay, you're trying your best, where like if I was touring and I was like supporting lead, I probably would not even blink an eyelid and I'd be having the best time. And don't get me wrong, I am having the best time as Elle, but it's just like logistically it's difficult. But I'm getting there. I am getting there. I mean, I have no access to my ears right now because of my allergies, but that's fine. If you weren't Elle in Legally Blonde, who would you want to be? That's a really good question. Serena. I'd love to give Serena a bash. I love Serena. She's like, out of the Delta News, her track is my favourite because she gets that section in Bend and Snap. And how Leah choreographed it is she's put Serena on the desk at the start of Bender Stuff. It's such a moment. So that's what I'd be Serena. What did you do to make Elle your own? I absolutely loved your Elle. You're amazing. Thank you, Becca. That's so sweet. This is a top tip because a lot of people ask me this, like, how do you make characters your own? And honestly, like, my top tip is to find you in them, because I like to keep my characters, whether it's a bad person, a good person, a complicated person, I like to keep them relatable, because that is the way that you get the audience on your side and they can connect with you in some way. So I will always say it is find a little bit of you in them. That's how you can keep it as real and organic as possible. Also, like, obviously I'm a British person. I have British humour. We're playing to British audiences. So I'm looking at this script that's got Americanisms through a British lens. And I know how to connect it to a British audience. Do you know what I mean? But that does come with experience. Sometimes, because obviously I've watched the MTV and I saw how Laura Bell Bundy would deliver the line. I personally wouldn't deliver the line like that. None of us are incorrect or correct. It's just how you connect with a line. And like, she was playing to American audiences who have a complete different humour to us. So it's about like getting to know the material the right way and the most organic way for you and how to connect to it. Is Nikita coming to see the show? That is so weird that someone's just asked me that. That's from Barty. He's actually coming on Saturday night in Oxford. It's the first time he's ever going to see me on stage. Him and Lauren are coming, and I actually think I'm looking after the dog in the dressing room, little Mabel. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I get nervous when I have like people I care about in. My sister came to watch the show 3 times in Newcastle, and I just got nervous, more and more nervous every single time. Favorite co-star or actor you have worked with? I've been so lucky. I've been so lucky with the companies that I've worked for. When I think I've like taken people from every single job I've done. Like, for example, when I did 9 to 5, I was working with Louise Redknapp, and like, gosh, did I need her in my life in that moment. I just won Love Island. I had been thrown into this world I had no idea about, the public eye. And I was working with a woman who had been in the public eye since she was 15, right? And it was just, she was like Mother Teresa to me. She really took me under her wing. She taught me so much about the do's and don'ts of like the public eye and the press and everything. And she gave me like a crash course. And I just like, I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for Louise. My Back to the Future lot, I loved so much. Roger Bart. To work in the same company as Roger Bart, life-changing. The way he worked, who he was off stage and as a leader. It was just so fascinating to watch. Ollie Saville, fantastic actor to work opposite. I learned so much on that job from him, because a lot of the times when we weren't doing the big numbers, it was like a 2-man play. And he's a fantastic actor, and to be able to work opposite him for a year on Pretty Woman I learned a lot from him. Corbin Blue, I mean, to work opposite him, he is such a giver. He taught me how to give. I think the best actors out there are you're a giver in a scene, on stage, off stage, just as a partner. If you give, you receive. And so that's what I learned from him specifically. And then I've got to say, like, working opposite Karen, who plays Paulette, she is a comedy genius. And it's been really, really interesting how we work together now without actually discussing what we're going to do. We have a comedy rhythm between us, me and Karen, which is unspoken, and we can find beats. If I deliver a line, Karen can find the comedy beat immediately, and vice versa. And it's really interesting how we just have this like unspoken bond when it comes to the comedy in our scenes. So that has been like really magical to find, because I've never actually had that with someone on stage. And I'm just so unbelievably lucky to work with her, because she is a gem. On stage, off stage, she's like one of those people that comes in, does her jobs, keeps herself to herself, delivers this most powerhouse performance, and is just like nonchalant about it. She's just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm doing my job, and I'm unbelievable at it. And I'm just like, have so much respect for her. I love her so much. So they would be like, obviously I love everyone who I've worked with, but they've like really had like a long lasting impression on my heart and soul. Summer is the perfect time to do a wardrobe refresh. Lighter fabrics, better materials, pieces that just feel so good the moment you put them on and looks effortlessly chic. That's where Quince comes into clutch. They focus on high quality essentials. Think breathable linen, soft organic cotton, washable silk, but without the luxury markup. It's that rare balance where everything feels elevated but still so easy. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middleman, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup. Even their denim is soft and easy to wear, and their organic cotton sweaters are perfect for layering on those cool summer nights. For me, Quince's 100% European linen shorts is a must-have in the wardrobe, and they have so many different patterns and colours. I am also a huge fan of a denim skirt, and they have a gorgeous stretched denim mini skirt in many different shades of blue. Elevate your summer wardrobe. Go to quince.com/call-to-stage for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's quince.com/call-to-stage for free shipping and 365-day returns. quince.com/call-to-stage. This episode is sponsored by Babbel, the language learning app that's actually designed to get you speaking. Not memorizing grammar tables, not chasing streaks, actually speaking with confidence in real situations. As performers, we know that connecting with people, really connecting, is everything. And Babbel gets that. Their courses are put together by over 200 language experts and built around the words and phrases you'll actually use. So you can start speaking with real confidence in as little as 3 weeks. Lessons are only bite-sized, just 10 minutes a day, which fits perfectly into the chaos of busy rehearsal schedules or a long commute between auditions. However you learn best, whether it's listening, speaking, reading or writing, Babbel adapts to your style with personalised learning plans. With real-time feedback and progress you can actually track and feel. They even have a whole collection of podcasts where language experts take you inside the culture, not just the textbook. Right now, you can get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription. This is a limited time deal for our listeners only. Go to babbel.com/call-to-stage. That's BABBEL.com/call-to-stage in capitals. Rules and restrictions may apply, but happy learning! How has it been away from home on tour? Being away from home doesn't bother me anymore. I mean, it's just part of the parcel, really, you know. When Ben was in Showman in Bristol doing Showman, that was tough because I was obviously on tour. I would come home certain weekends to an empty house vibes, and he was in Bristol, so we did around about 5 months. I think we saw each other like 4 times in 5 months, and like that part was difficult because like Ben's my home, you know. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm responding to myself. He's my home, so it's him that I struggle with when I don't see. Anyway, he's back now, so live, laugh, love. You know, our only constant is change. So we stuck it through, and obviously I was so busy, so like, yes, I missed him, but I didn't have much time to miss him. What's your favourite quick change and least favourite quick change? Oh, my favourite quick change is the first quick change, the one that went wrong back in Sheffield on a Saturday night, because it's the most thrilling. Because there's like a high chance that change won't work. And something about that thrills me. Something about that just makes me think, ooh, is it going to happen? And every time it does happen, like it's only not happened once out of 100 shows. Yeah, so that's thrilling to me. My least favourite quick change. This is TMI, but I'm going to give it to you, is my bunny change, because... Oh, do I want to tell you guys this? Yeah, I'm just going to tell it. Because basically they put me in a corset, right? And I have to make sure that I pass a mirror before entering stage to make sure that my nipples are equal. If my nipples aren't equal within the basque, in the corset, it looks like I'm cross-eyed, right? I've got one nipple facing one direction and one nipple facing the other. And I feel like it doesn't matter how much work I do in this scene, they're going to be looking at my wonky nipples. So that's probably the most anxiety-fueling one. That is so TMI. What age did you get into theatre? I started... Guys, it's been a lifelong thing, really. I did it as a hobby until I was 13, which was, you know, I was just doing it after school and Saturday classes and summer schools. And then at 13, I thought, I definitely want to do this as a career. And remember, my sister was in college at this point, so I knew it was a career that I could go down. And that's when I started going to Erdang once a month when I was 13. So I would say 13 is when I like decided, yep, this is what I want to do. But it's never too late. I know so many people who are late bloomers, and I mean like 18, 19 vibes, discovering that they had this natural talent and wanted and like decided to do something about it and like make a career out of it. It's never too late. People ask me, is there like a cut-off? No. Even if you're like, listen, Morgan Freeman didn't get his first break until he was 50 years old. So when I tell you, like, there isn't an age limit on this thing. Like, if you have a passion and a drive and you're good at something, you can start it at any time, you know, like, just go for it. Do you plan to do more mainstream TV, or was strictly a one-off? That's a really good question. I think at the moment, I just live, love, laugh theatre. You know, I live for the live audiences. I live for the 100-mile-an-hour pace life. There's no TV shows that I've like got on my agenda. I wouldn't mind doing one-off things like, I don't know, whether Strictly got me back to do a masterclass in the musical theatre week or themed week. Do you know what I mean? Or like one-offs here and there. But I've done Strictly, I've done Love Island, I've done Dancing on Ice. I don't know if there's anything else like on the list. Do you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people go to me like, oh, you know, do you want to be a presenter? Like, not right now, no. I can't read an auto cue, so probably no. And I think something like that, it's like a passion like that comes with age and maturity. And right now, I just want to be on stage, if I'm going to be brutally honest. Don't get me wrong, when I do like Lorraine and This Morning and I'm doing press for a show, like I live, love, laugh those moments. But do I want to be on mainstream telly? Not right now, is my answer. Has Plain Elle lived up to your expectations? Yeah. I actually thought she was going to be harder than what it is, because I'm so in love with her and I have so much fun playing her. Like, it generally doesn't feel like I work a day in my life, and like just hearing the audience's response, and yeah, it is incredible. I love her. I love singing the material. Like, I feel super duper duper confident. And I'm so proud of myself. I love what I've done with her, and I love where she's going, you know. She's constantly evolving. How do you take care of your mental health whilst being on tour? I don't. No, guys, look, it's a difficult one. I have good days and I have bad days. Like, I'm just a normal human in that sense. Like, I can overthink. I think most of all, I try and take the emotion out of everything. Like, number one, I don't, like, this comes with age as well. Like, I don't, if there's drama in the building, if there is, like, this is not just Legally Blonde. This is like throughout my career. I try not to get involved. You know, I go in, do my job, and go home. Sometimes I have anxiety about, I don't know, fatigue. How much am I sleeping? Have I got enough time to do this? Have I got enough time to do that? But I feel like with age, me and my mental health are figuring out a way and a system, and I'm a lot less emotionally reactive. So I don't feel like, I don't know, say I've got a tired voice. I wake up and I've got a tired voice. That won't turn into an emotional reaction, because that makes it worse for me. Instead, I take the emotion out of it, and I just think, yeah, like not everything's not life or death anymore, you know? And it just does come with experience. Don't get me wrong, like, there's days I call my mum. I've had a couple of like really big emotional breakdowns on Legally, and that's from other circumstances. Like, that's just life getting in the way. But honestly, like, for me, when it comes to work, I just try and keep myself to myself. Like, obviously I love everybody in the building, and I'm really good friends with Rosanna and Annabelle and Lauren and George. Like, I have my friends, but I still do just keep myself to myself. It's the only way. Like, I'm here to protect myself and myself only. And I'm very fortunate because, like, I have my own dressing room and things like that. But I don't, like, this is so harsh for me to say, but I do think it's like big sister advice is I don't take a job to make friends. I take a job to do what I love, and then I make friends along the way. So yeah, my top big sis tip would be, like, when it comes to companies, and just stay out of the drama. Even though there's barely been like none on Legally Blonde, like, we're a top tier cast and company, like, compared to Pretty Woman. Whoa. I'm not even going to go there. If you could play any role, regardless of gender and sex, which one would it be and why? I'd play Aaron Burr in Hamilton, because Wait For It, the song Wait For It, top tier. I sing it in the shower every day, pretty much. Car journeys on loop. I haven't sung it in karaoke yet, but then now I'm just thinking, like, why have I not sung it in karaoke yet? So when I do, I will film it and put it on Call to Stage. Oh, this is such a good one. If you could play any part Ben has played, which one are you choosing? Honestly, like, I've loved every single role he's played. There's two. When he was playing Quasimodo, like, I would love to sing that material, because, like, it looked like it was so fun to sing. Like, he's just going for it, you know? Like, it looks like it'd be really, like, fulfilling to sing. And the other one is Beau in Shocked, because, like, he got to, like, rock out, and it was, like, really really incredible score. And there was one time where he like ripped his shirt off in the rain, like, and I just wish I was him. Like, I wish I could have experienced that moment. When he was singing "Somebody Will," it was like raining and he was like ripping his shirt off, like, oh my God, I want that moment. So yeah, I'd probably say one of those two. Oh, I'm a 5 times ballroom and Latin champion. What's your favourite dance? Okay, I have 3. I loved the Argentine tango. We did that in week 4 and that was so hard. I'd probably say that was like one of the most difficult styles, like how you have to use every single muscle in your body. Hard. Loved it. I loved the Charleston. Obviously, I got a 40 on that. So like that week for me was just unbelievable. But me and the Charleston, we just got along. Like we just clicked, you know. The paso. It would have to be the paso was to up there. I would say with the most unique style where like I really didn't know how to do the paso at the start of the week, but I fell in love with it by the end. And when I loved a style, I did really well in it. Like the American Smooth, like I was good at it. So I did really well in it. Like cha-cha-cha, never want to do that again. The jive, never want to jive again. They're just like really difficult, complicated styles that took a lot of my time and energy and mental health. Like I'd flatline in those rehearsals because I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. Like, no. Also, hated the quick step. We did that in Blackpool. Didn't get it. What do you mean we're gapping? What do you mean I have to stay on the left side of you? Like, I'm staying on the left side of you. It was like 1 add 1 was equaling to 15 for me in those moments. I was like, I am on your left side. And he was like, you're not. You're coming into my zone. No, I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, I get super passionate about it because it's hard. So shout out to you ballroom and Latin dancers because like yeah. What's something easier you found about playing Elle than you thought and something harder? Easier for me, I thought the sing was going to be a bit more difficult. But actually, I found a good place to place her. I found a good place in my voice to place the material. So tick, tick, fine. With regards to the hardest thing, I'd probably say the heels. The heels on a rake. The heels on a rake doing the dance breaks. Sometimes I just think, are my knees up for that today? You know, when it's a matinee and you're like doing the positive dance break on a rake in a 6-inch heel, I just think, do I deserve this? But yeah, that and like, it's so funny because like, say I do a non-raked stage for 2 weeks and then I go and do a raked stage on week 3 and I'm like, flip, you must engage your core. It's like in the moment where I'm like opening Elle on Tuesday night and I'm getting to those dance breaks and I just have to like, in that moment, I'm like engage. I have to like run through my body. Otherwise I look like Bambi in those heels. But I'm telling you what, it's a fantastic workout for my core. And I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, I swear to God, Strictly was meant to come in my life before Elle because like my core and like my leg strength and my calf strength is like, it couldn't be any top tier than after doing Strictly. I think I actually would have struggled more if I hadn't have done Strictly when it came to like my physical health. Have you ever blanked out when it comes to your lines on stage all the time? All the time. Sometimes lines come out like gibberish. And I think, what? I go, rewind. What did you just say? Like sometimes my mind works quicker than my mouth. And it's like I may as well have just said the line in French. But I honestly just move on. I move on and pretend it didn't happen. Move on. And then I think the audience are like, huh? And I'm like, huh? And then we just have that moment together and we move on. It happens to me all the time. Dream person to work with. I've got a couple. I'd love to work with Shoshana Bean. I'd love to work with my sister, although I think we'd kill each other. I'd love to work with Ben again. I'd love to work with Jonathan Bailey. It's funny, like, I'd love to work with Jamie Moscato again. Like, this the people that I've fallen in love with. Like, I'd love to work with them again. I'd love to work with Rachel Tucker again. Oh, there's so many people I'd love to work with. There's so many people who I've had on this podcast, and I just think I'd love to work with them. Michael Ball, Killian Donnelly. There's just so many people. One of my faves was Ramin Karimloo. Top tier. Like, I've been so lucky to work with these people. But if I'm going to pick a person, fine, Jonathan Bailey. For the calves, obviously. This is really lovely. How you maintain a happy, healthy relationship while you're on tour or in a show. I really, really love this. I feel like me and Ben, how our relationship has worked out has been very fitting to us, because for the first year of our relationship, we worked together. So that was extremely, extremely intense. And by the end of that year, you know, we moved in with each other and I went on tour for a year. So we went from in each other's pockets to long distance. And obviously, because by the time I'd gone on to by the time we started the long distance relationship, we had already had this year of being together and creating a foundation. And don't get me wrong, that first year I was on tour, it was tough. Ben was also working, so he was occupied. He was occupied, you know. Then now we're 4 years, pretty much like 4 years deep. With this second tour now, it's like we don't even blink. So I feel like what I'm trying to say is the most important thing you can do in this industry, if you are in a relationship with an actor, is you have to build a solid foundation and you have to have 100% trust in each other, because that's what me and Ben have. And, you know, it's very easy. The relationship is very easy. It's not hard work. This career is hard in itself. You don't want to have a difficult relationship as well, because trust me, I've been in difficult relationships. They can sometimes be a full-time job. And I think that's where I'm very lucky, you know, is that it's very easy going. So as long as you have trust and, you know, an unconditional loyalty and, I would just say build that foundation, and you have to be, like, I'm very, very fortunate because I don't have to explain anything to Ben. If I text him and say, I'm tired tonight and I need to rest my voice, he's like, great, that's fine, because I was going to be going on my Xbox and playing golf anyway, or PlayStation, whatever the hell he calls it. So it's just about, like, giving each other what they need when they need it, and space and patience and grace when they need that, you know. At the end of the day, we're all doing life for the first time. So we need to just be there for one another and support. And yeah, I think that's all I've got time for today. That was just like a random app. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I now have a really interesting guest coming in. He's super, super hot. Gay, obviously. Devastated. But I will see you guys next week. Bye.